My name is Elizabeth Ann Smith, and this is my presentation on the merits of home education versus public or private schooling. It is my belief that home education offers many advantages over public or private schooling and is an alternative that I encourage all parents to investigate. Across America, schools are suffering from problems that range from lack of funding, violence, bullying, and peer pressure. The nationwide shortage of qualified teachers has led to the education system being filled with a plethora of inadequate tests that do nothing to prepare the student for the real world or how to cope with it. In the wake of this crisis, many are driven to attend private schools, where these problems still exist, unfortunately. However, as with all styles of supply and demand, the tuition of these schools continue to soar, making it impossible for many middle-class families to afford. As these problems and more continue to escalate, parents, grandparents, and guardians alike are increasing their search for a more viable alternative. For many of these people, homeschooling has become an increasingly popular option. In 2004, the U.S. Department of Education reported that there were 11 million homeschooled children between the grades of kindergarten and 12th grade. That's an increase of 7% between the years of 2003 and 2004. With such a major expansion in the community, it's little wonder that the Internet has become flooded with information to meet the needs of this next generation of home educators. With the creation of resources such as the National Home Education Research Institute, or NHERI, parents have been given access to the irreplaceable source of other homeschooling parents, the newest curriculums, and the latest in funding news and research. Some of this research is in an attempt to dissuade the public's ill-conceived notion of homeschooling. Many of these negative connotations in regard to homeschooling revolve around the misbelieved lack of ability to develop social skills. Little do people know that homeschooling has grown so popular that some areas have developed their own leagues. Their purpose being to provide the social skills that so many believe are lacking in these children. Even in areas that don't have their own associations, opportunities abound in the form of 4-H, YMCA, and others, willing to take any child that wants to learn and participate. But still, the question remains, overall, do homeschooled children learn and achieve? The statistics say that they do. If you refer to the handouts I provided, you'll see that in Handout 1, homeschooled children perform nearly twice as well as publicly or privately educated students in standardized tests. And in Figure 2, we find that homeschoolers consistently outperform public or privately educated students in college attendance, achievement, and overall success. And finally, in Handout 3, research has shown that homeschooled students stay far more active in their communities as adults than their conventionally educated counterparts. My research and that of numerous others has shown for a fact that homeschool students can be and are successful not only academically, but socially as well. They are not the rejected and unsocialized icons of years past, but the bright rays of a future full of community involvement, civic leadership, benefits, and adventures not available to the average child. Overall, these advantages have convinced me that homeschooling is superior to both public and private education. Are there any questions?
Were you homeschooled as a child?
Yes, ma'am, I was.
Were you homeschooled your entire career or just part of it?
I was homeschooled for its entirety except for the grades of kindergarten, 2nd grade, and 5th grade.
Do you believe you have advantages because you were homeschooled over children who were privately schooled or publicly schooled?
Yes, ma'am, I certainly do.
Can you tell me what the biggest advantage that you see having been homeschooled was?
There are so many I really can't list. One is the first one. I learned things such as self-motivation, and I was able to learn at my own pace. I was also able to do things and participate in activities such as 4-H, and I showed horses extensively, leading the nation in showmanship at times, and I certainly would not have been able to do this had I been publicly or privately homeschooled or educated.
Thank you.
Thank you.